Hello? She stopped breathing. I'm trying to do CPR. I can't.
Okay, listen to me. Can you tell me what your address is?
Also, week 2 of the trial of David Tronnes, the man accused of killing his wife August 2018.
Yeah, this case drew eyes from around the country, in part because of Tronnes' attempts to get on a reality TV show before his wife died. News 6's Emily McLeod brings us the latest from today's testimony, including what one of the show's producers had to say.
In this case, the manner of death is homicide, and it is almost classic for strangulation.
Prosecutors calling the medical examiner and Shanti Cooper's death to the stand on Monday in the David Tronnes murder trial. The medical examiner detailing Shanti Cooper's autopsy, saying some of the injuries she sustained are consistent with blunt force trauma and strangulation.
In the shower.
And she passed away?
I believe that the cause of her death is a combination of the strangulation and the blunt head trauma.
They're almost there to you. They're responding emergency to you.
There's a blue dumpster. They have to come back. Oh, God.
What is blue?
There's a blue dumpster, big blue dumpster in the driveway. They have to turn in. And if they can get past it, they have to drive past it. If they can't get past it,
they'll park out in the street.
Earlier in the day, jurors heard from Sean Johnson, who works for the FDLE in the biology and DNA section. He says he took samples of blood from Tronnes' pajama pants.
Were either or both of the known samples in this case present in that mixture?
Again, David Tronnes' DNA was expected to be there because they were his pants, and Shanti Cooper-Tronnes is included as a possible contributor to the mixture.
To what statistical significance?
The observed mixed DNA profile is greater than 700 million times more likely.
I'm sorry, was that million or billion?
Billion.
The prosecution also calling Samantha Adams, who at the time was working for Shanti Cooper part-time as a nanny and personal assistant. Prosecutors say David Tronnes wanted to put their home on a reality TV show called Zombie House Flipping. They say Shanti Cooper wanted no part of it. But when Adams was cross-examined by defense attorneys, she says Cooper was excited about it.
You became aware that they were going to be involved in the zombie house flipping show? Yes, ma'am. Shanti was excited about that, wasn't she? Yes, ma'am.
Prosecutors also calling Orlando Police Detective Teresa Sprague to the stand. Sprague recounting what she noticed about the crime scene.
The bathtub floor was dry. The tub was dry. There's dried, diluted blood on the walls. There's dried, diluted blood in the tub. The rug is pushed forward. That's not wet. The floor's not wet. The carpet's not wet.
As of 4 o'clock Monday afternoon, there were still witnesses testifying for the prosecution, and it is not known whether or not David Tronnes will take the stand in his own trial. For now, reporting in downtown Orlando, I'm Emily McLeod, getting results, News 6.
I believe. Okay, all right. I'm Detective Teresa Sprague, and this is Detective Barb McClelland. First of all, on behalf of the Orlando Police Department, we want to say how sorry we are for your loss, David, and also for everything that you're going through. I know this is very traumatic for you, okay? And it's just a terrible, terrible thing. Obviously, we don't know what happened in your home today, okay? We don't know what happened to Shanti yet. We know you called us, which is good, okay? And we know that obviously she's lost her life, didn't they?
We didn't move in right away. It took a few months to work on it.
So when you say you got a deal on the short sale, is that house? Or did you move?
We had, before I came down, before I moved down, Shanti and I found out how we were looking for houses before I moved. The one we ended up wanting to purchase was on short sale.
And you started doing work. Was it in the condition that it's in now? Was it under renovation or?
It was fully livable. It was just an older Victorian style home, and Shanti wanted to completely open it up, open concept, totally, and you know, completely do it. And we weren't sure what we were going to do, but as we got into it, we found more and more issues. We had to, you know, kind of keep going. It would have been difficult to renovate on top of some of the termite damage and water damage and that type of thing. Get the house
so it was completely livable. So in its condition now, you guys have almost completely gutted it down to the studs, pretty much.
Yeah, that only really happened in 16. So we really lived in the house all of 15, and even the beginning of 16, we had the family room in the kitchen, and we still slept upstairs in what we call the accommodation of the apartment.
Okay.
But we weren't quite as restricted as we are now.
Who's doing the work?
So I pulled the permit, and I'm basically the general contractor for the project. I'm hiring subcontractors, and I hired a consultant to help us do that, who's more familiar with the, he's a GC himself, but because I have the permit, he's acting in a little bit different role.
And who is that?
His name is Keith Ori, O-R-I.
Keith Ori?
Yeah.
And what's the name of his business, if he has one?
Parhelion, H-E-L-I-O-N.
P-A-R?
Friday, the jury in the bathtub murder trial heard details of the massive overhaul of David and Shanti Cooper-Tronnes' home. They were taking a quest to appear on the show Zombie House Flipping. Keith Ori, the host of the Renovation show, describing a meeting with the couple coming just a week before Shanti's death.
I received a call from Mr. Tronnes about 6 months after the first time. And I went by the house. I wasn't necessarily expecting very much, but when I walked inside, it was something I hadn't seen before. I don't think very many people get to see. We talk in terms with respect to renovations. We talk in terms of taking a house down to studs, meaning removing the drywall or plaster and on the interior dividing walls to gain access and move walls around. In Mr. Tronnes' house, the studs had been removed. There were no interior dividing walls at all. In my recollection, there was a partial floor between the first and second floor. There was a little bit of framing, I think, that you could maybe stand on, but you had to use a ladder to get to it, if I remember correctly. Basically, the house was a large, almost like a shoebox, a two-story shoebox, and the alarming part was that not just that the interior dividing walls and supports were removed, but the exterior walls, which are framed. It's a 1920-something house, I think. The exterior framing on the house was largely destroyed by wood-destroying organisms. So it was basically being held up by 2 layers of plaster that had been at some point subsequently applied to the framing on the outside of the house and had created sort of a concrete shell. I arrived at the house to meet Dave and Shanti. Dave was by the pool, which is where I usually found him. It was a nice setting, and we spoke. And Shanti was not there, and I said, we really need Shanti to come down, and or not. I didn't know where she was. We really needed to have Shanti here. That was the point of the meeting. And he hedged a little bit, and I said, it's really quite important. So he went to the garage, and I either yelled up the stairs or I don't know. He disappeared behind the door and came back with Shanti. If I remember, she had a headset on, like a telephone headset type thing on. She was working. That was whatever job she did, I guess required that. And she had come down, and she was, by my estimation, unhappy to be there. And it was in a sort of a tense state. We laid everything out. She said she was fully on board with the renovation, and then she left. And David explained that it was obvious that she was unhappy with something. And
did she appear to be paying much attention to what you were saying, or was she sort of dismissive of the conversation?
I wouldn't say dismissive. She was paying attention because we were talking about, material things, but she was only there as long as she absolutely had to be, and then left.
And Dave answered and told me that Shanti had passed.
Okay. When you were told that, do you recall any specifics of what he said about that she had passed?
He said he came home and he found her and he couldn't resuscitate her and that he called 911 and there was nothing they could do.
What did you do after? And this is a phone conversation?
Yes.
What did you do after that phone conversation?
So I was very hysterically crying because, you know, Shanti was my mentor. She was also my friend and my business associate. Dave was crying when I talked to him on the phone and all upset. And so Tammy said, I must have still been on the phone because Tammy said, call him back and tell him when work is over, we'll come by there to see if there's anything he needs from us or anything we can do to help him.
Got a clip from his interview with police, and here this clip focuses on how the death didn't look natural.
You heard the water and didn't hear her, you felt something was wrong?
I went upstairs. I don't hear her talking on the phone, so I say hello. I don't hear anything back. I can hear water running. She's not saying anything. Doesn't seem right. Sometimes it is hard if you have the water running to hear somebody out there, so that was my assumption.
Okay, so it's one room. You don't see her?
Until I get to the bathroom.
Okay. Is the bathroom door open or closed? Open. Okay, and so you walk toward the water that you're hearing?
Yeah, walking to the bathroom.
Okay. The door's open, and what happens? What do you see?
I see her laying with her head in the right-hand corner. The water is running, but I don't think the drain is closed, because if it was, it would be going over, right? So the water's like half full. She's submerged partially, but she's also partially not submerged, and one of her legs is kind of sticking up and out a little bit. And it's just extremely awful, and it doesn't look natural. Obviously, she fell or something happened. And I tried to pick her up. I turned the water off. I tried to pick her up. She's stiff.
All right, guys, so we are here at our first location. This location, a husband actually killed his wife in, and meanwhile, in the process, he was restoring this place and fixing it up, but there was an altercation between the husband and the wife. Basically, I can't remember, I'm probably gonna put some info on the screen or in the video. Basically, this place has been left abandoned. Now, when we showed up, we were informed from a neighbor that we could actually walk around and look inside the place. I don't know if we can actually see the bathroom where the killing happened, but basically the wife died by blunt force trauma in the bathtub or on the bathroom sink. So yeah, this place has been documented by a lot of different companies, a lot of different news. I know that there's a couple documentaries, and yeah, but let's look at this place and just look at the outside of it and how amazing the architecture and surrounding area is. I was just about to say, they had a nice little greenhouse set up here. It's just like perfect, like look at it.
Yeah,
it's
probably for the wife.
Yeah.
So you were saying that this gentleman actually murdered his wife in the bathroom here?
It looks like they had a huge dog. Very big dog. I hope that dog's having a good life. But yeah, this happened in, I believe, 2017 or 16. But as you can see, majority of this place is gutted. Now, the neighbor actually told us that he regularly comes walking around this building, making sure that the nearby homeless haven't moved in. So that's good. And that also gave us access to this location, sort of. We don't know if we can actually get in. I don't think we can. See, that's actually the neighbor's car that is in their driveway because they're doing road work. It looks like they maybe had someone sitting here, and it does look like there's evidence. It looks like there is evidence of people trying to get in here, actually. So that's never good to see. Like, I mean, if a place isn't clearly open, like, don't force a way in. Like, we never ever do that. But yeah, as you can see, it says security cameras, but we obviously have some type of permission to be here. Just look at this architecture. You don't see gargoyles on buildings anymore. They really don't make places the way they used to. Man, people are really friendly around here. Yeah, they're probably used to people just coming here and doing this, honestly.
Yeah. As long as you're not doing anything to the property, they're not doing anything.
I wonder if we can get over on that side.
I don't know.
But yeah, guys, if you've seen documentaries of this place, let me know in the comments. But this is a well-known house in the neighborhood, obviously. I'm not going to give too much more information, but these people over here actually gave us the okay to walk around it. The gentleman over there gave us permission, so we're taking full advantage of that, and we're just documenting this place. But it really is one of those places where as soon as something bad happens, nature just starts reclaiming it, and it's quite crazy to see just how quickly it has claimed this house. The neighbor was just telling us too that they wish that they would do something with the place, like clean it up and just make it less of an eyesore. But honestly, I think even in this state, it is a beautiful home. This sign on the door is actually, it's basically saying you're eligible for prosecution if you're found on the premise. So honestly, don't really want to push our luck with this one, but I still think it's a really interesting find and location to just document. The gentleman that owns this place is currently facing prison. Obviously, he murdered his wife. Regardless, like, you serve prison. You don't do that shit. So he's serving a sentence, and they basically put somebody in charge. Every 6 months, they come here and they make sure the place is fixed up. They make sure nobody's in here squatting and all that stuff. So basically every 6 months, somebody comes out from the city, fixes a place, makes sure it's all sealed up tight, and yeah, they have to pay this guy to do this. That's his job. He has to come from the city, board this place up, make sure there's nobody in there, make sure the place is intact, and this guy is basically just a caretaker at that point, making sure nothing else happens with the place.
I mean, honestly, we might be able to get this, like, if we combine this with other videos, we might be able to get this to like a 20-minute video.
Looks like, is that a shower cap?
Gloves. If they had kids, because there's like a scooter over here, a toy bow.
Yeah, I don't think so. Like, they were a young couple, so it's not grandkids, but
Yeah, that's definitely a kid's scooter, though. We don't know if they had kids.
Jackson.
Your Honor, my mom was the best person I ever knew. Early 2018, she was taken from me and my family. It's like a hole in my heart that I can't fill or fix. She didn't die peacefully. She did not deserve anything that happened to her that night. My family and I have been waiting for about 5 years for justice. I miss her so much. I would have never thought the day before was the last time I would see my mother alive. I miss the times where we would go to Universal, or just the simple times, like walking the dogs or going to the park. She was the best mom I could ever ask for. That's it.
Defense, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Vicky Jackson.
Your Honor, when Shanti and I were married, we tried for years to have a child with no success. It was an extremely difficult time for us, and we were about to give up when we got the wonderful news in early 2009. We did our best to raise him together, but as you know in life, it is not without its curveballs and heartaches. And when we divorced, as difficult as it was, one thing we never fought or wavered on was raising Jackson the best we could.
Yeah, that's definitely a kid's scooter though. We don't know if they had kids, Chris was saying, but definitely a scooter there.
Oh my God, it's so confusing, Chris and Chris. And I was like, wait, I said that? Yeah, as you can see, there's nothing in the garbage.
That's too much. Too many Chris's. Too many cooks.
Yeah, this place definitely has like a weird feeling to it though.
Yeah, my hair's staying loose, like it's constantly standing up. I have goosebumps.
Yeah, and this is dragon fruit, I think. Or maybe it's just a cactus, because dragon fruit, well, that might be. I'm surprised it's growing like so soon, if it is. Holy crap, guys. Look how gutted that is. My God. Honestly, I've seen curtains like that when they're replacing windows.
True, but those windows are brand new.
That looks weird though. It's like a
Oh, no, shower curtain.
Wait.
Like right there, that pattern, it looks almost like a shower curtain. I don't know, that's weird.
And there's like red spots.
That's the blood.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
Oh, that's weird. There's a bunch of weird stains on that though.
Yeah.
Right in the middle. So we're definitely gonna have to research this, but Chris was saying, one of the Chris's was saying that we think that the murder may have taken place in the upstairs over there. We don't know, so don't quote us on that. We're gonna do some research and definitely get
There's
straight before we post.
there's still even blinds up here.
That's the crazy thing.
Look how they warped from all the heat. You can see. Man, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really wish I could show you guys more footage of this place, because this is one of those places where it's like it has so much history and so much emotion tied with it. And yeah, just, it's such a shame. Like, it should never come to killing the person you're with. Like, I don't care what you're going through. Like, that is just never the answer. But yeah, and there you see a notice from the city. Just a beautiful home.
Everybody's been so polite to us. So.
Yeah, it's probably best not to overstay our welcome here. Mm-hmm.
The other mansion?
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap this up. And I want to just give a special shout out to the neighbors around us for being so polite and giving us permission to actually go and kind of get some shots of the inside of this place. But yeah, it's just, again, guys, it's very, very simple. If you are with somebody, what you don't want to do is kill that person. Don't kill anyone, honestly, because self-defense, yeah, but, you know, let's be honest here. Like, it's not worth it, and this was a situation that could have been avoided. Once again, want to thank Venturing with Trevor for tagging along and my cousin. But yeah, it's been a cool little place. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like content like this, please subscribe, leave a comment on this place, and hit the bell icon. I'll see you guys in the next one.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder.
Right now on Fox 35 News at 10, the verdict is in. David Tronnes is found guilty of killing his wife. You can see her son sitting there in the courtroom as that verdict was read. A wave of emotion washes over his face. The jury took only a few hours to reach that verdict. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. That murder happened back in 2018. And Fox 35's Patrick Perez joins us live from the Orange County Courthouse tonight. So, Patrick, you were sitting right behind Tronnes when he found out his fate.
I was, John, and he barely reacted to this verdict. On the other hand, the family and friends of Shanti, that was his wife, well, we heard them crying in the courtroom as that verdict was read. They told me that they worried that the jury was going to go the other way in this case. Now, Shanti's family has waited 5 years for this closure since Tronnes killed her back in 2018 in their Orlando home. He claimed then that she slipped and fell in the bathroom, but the prosecution says he beat her and strangled her to death over an argument about home renovation. She had apparently refused to star in a reality TV show about renovating homes, and that pushed Tronnes to the edge. The trial lasted a total of 6 days, and the jury began deliberating earlier this afternoon. They arrived at the guilty verdict shortly before 8 o'clock tonight. Shanti's family spoke with us right outside the courthouse about what this guilty verdict means for them.
We got him, and he got what he deserved for what he did to her and our son.
It's like 5 years of struggle and pain lifted off of our shoulders. And it feels good inside that he's finally where he is. And now that we can move on knowing that he's where he's supposed to be and where he's meant to be.
And the judge sentenced Tronnes to life in prison. He has 30 days to appeal that sentence. We're live outside the Orange County Courthouse tonight. I'm Patrick Perez, Fox 35 News.